Hi, everyone. So we are here with Oscar from Nuria Social and A Resilient Earth based in La Garrocha. And we're going to have a little conversation about one of the outputs of this project, named the guidelines of transformative economies when dealing with community catalysts. Oscar, can you tell us a little bit about what the work you do there in La Garrocha?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm a member of Resilient Earth, a non-profit co-op here, a local co-op focused on rural development, and also from Nuria Social, that it's a hub where there's a lot of different organizations that we participate. And one of our main focus is actually to catalyze the transformative economies ecosystem of La Garrocha and La Provincia de Girona here in the north of Catalonia.
And when we are engaging in community catalyzing, especially in this context of transformative economies, why is it important to define and conceptualize guidelines?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that in this case, because the approach of community catalyst is quite systemic, it's important to be able to define the different frameworks, the systemic frameworks from where we're going to be working, and from where the whole platform is actually being developed. These systemic frameworks, what are useful for is that they let us understand much better which are the externalities and the consequences of our development. In our case, for example, ruralities receive a lot of externalities of the development of the big cities. No, we have to adapt to their development, and because we're less people and we have less votes, we cannot participate so much in the strategy of our nation. No? And that's why, like, understanding and using systemic frameworks, it's key to be able to find a different development that actually generates a positive impact towards the community and the territory. And that's why the guidelines, we have one guidelines here in the transformative economy. We also generated another guidelines in the prior project in the regenerative development. They're both with a systemic approach, and they're quite compatible, and you could almost read them one after the other, because I think they're both pretty useful to understand a little bit better how to develop as a community in balance with the territory.
Can you tell us a little bit how the guidelines were developed?
Yeah, definitely. The guidelines were developed after the participatory action research and understanding much better which were the patterns that were needed at the different ruralities in Algarve, in La Garrocha, in Sicily, and in Hungary. And with in our consortium, there's not only local organizations. We also collaborate with universities. In this case, the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona, with specifically La Xida, a local Catalan co-op, were participating in writing these guidelines. And that was really useful because the people from La Xida, they're actually professors at the university teaching at the Social and Solidarity Economy postgraduate. And the whole guidelines were developed by extracting all the information that we got from the different local projects, and then trying to organize it, organize the whole information to make sense of it, knowing that it's a systemic approach and that needs to be adapted to this more kind of rural perspective. And from that, we generated a whole text. And then everyone in the consortium participated in actually reviewing the text. And there was tons of different comments that we were introducing, because it's not easy. Like, and sometimes you feel like there's some contradictions here, or maybe it's too academic and it's not going to be accessible enough, or maybe it's not comprehensive enough. Then we needed to kind of go through the whole thing, trying to just make sense of it the best we could, as well as making it the most adapted to the different regions and their needs.
Mhm. And stitching, all those concepts together and making sense of that systemic nature of, the concept we are dealing with. What would be the main message that you see are coming out of these guidelines?
Yeah, I think there was key points that were crucial. Like, for example, the patriarchy. It's something that it's huge now, no? And like in the different regions, you could see like as the patriarchy the weight that we need to deal with. Then transformative economies, they must put the patriarchy, the feminism in the center, and that actually the feminism as well, it's helping us to then relate to the community and our territory from a completely different perspective, from a perspective that it's way more rooted, and that, for example, it's also another basic need that these projects, these initiatives at the rural level, one of the things they do is they try to use the local resources. Sometimes it's not so easy because that type of development has gone, and the regions are like completely focused on tourism or industrialized to kind of in La Garrotxa, for example, it's in the meat industry. Then to get resources from the place, it's a little bit difficult. Then to understand the importance of cycling resources from the place that goes to a cooperative ecosystem that takes care of the people, of everyone, from an equitable perspective. And then that goes to the consumers without generating negative externalities to the territory, and the community. It's really, really important. And we had to really focus on those things. Where in the guidelines, we're developing the importance of the feminism in the economy, this perspective, and also in this more kind of regenerative approach that it's helping us to deepen the whole cyclic economy. I would say.
And
so.
Also like aware of, like when we focus so much in the local regions, because it's where we're experiencing the life and we experience place, a lot of times we feel these overarching systemic pressure and systemic forces that condition so much the locality and the freedom and the genuinity of the locality. So it's a beautiful reconciling effort to have this conversation happening on a more systemic level, and then having these results and these interactions locally. And is there any last remarks that you want to leave us with as we flow into the next IOs?
Yeah, I think that what you were bringing was actually a key point as well. Like the structural violence that we receive in the rural communities, it's huge. It's from the cities or from the state. Like our governance is completely taken out of our territories, and then we don't even feel that the territory is ours, because then it's been decided somewhere that there's going to be a road here, or there's going to be this type of industry or that other thing, and we cannot even participate in that. And that's frustrating, and it doesn't let us develop the way we would like to. But I completely agree with you. Like the thing is how ruralities we can reconcile with modernity. How can we bring value to all this knowledge, and we are kind of sustainers of the culture. Like the ruralities of every nation, we are the ones that actually are in the origin of our own cultures, and we are the holders of these ancient patterns. And it's important to to give value to these patterns, reconcile them to modernity, and be able to offer a new type of development, not only for the ruralities, but also for the cities. Is in a certain perspective, maybe we should start thinking about how to ruralize cities. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind.
Great. So with this, we close the conversation on the guidelines. And once again, look down if you have the link to check more in depth the guidelines. And thank you for being with us.
Enjoy.